to today's episode of Talking Footy. We wanted to start off by giving our deepest condolences and sympathies to the family and loved ones of Jacinda Barclay. So, unfortunately, at 29 years of age, Jacinda passed away. She was one of the inaugural players for the GWS side in the AFLW League. So, growing up, she played American football or gridiron in Australia and the US. She also played basketball for a little while there. So she's had an incredible career and has been a real shining star for women in sport and young women emerging into, different areas of sport. She made 23 appearances for GWS and she's described as having an infectious personality and will continue to remain a shining star for those young women who are coming into the AFLW League. So we just wanted to pass on, like I said before, our deepest sympathies and may she rest in peace.
And also, as quickly jumping as well, obviously, we all know the reason why she passed away. So if anyone's struggling, make sure you always contact the helpline and always seek out and make sure you're not holding it in. And also, I've also been seeing around social media, I won't touch on it too much, but just people just like posting silly stuff about it, like posting jokes about it. It's not a laughing matter, this sort of stuff. It's really serious. Like there's a lot of people dying from suicide every day. So yeah, please take it serious and always reach out to your loved ones.
On your loved ones.
Jerry,
all right. Yeah, so on a lighter note, welcome to Talking Footy episode 8. So we are back in business and geez, there is a lot going on. And Russ, he's come to me during the week. He said, Jez, can I have some time on the Talking Footy vidcast? I go, of course, Russ, you can. He is boiling. He is absolutely frothing at the mouth to get around this. And Russ, I'm gonna get your opinions on whatever you are angry about. What has got you fucking mad, raging? The old Russo's rager.
Oh, mate. All right. So, footy classified. Caroline Wilson. Oh boy, Caroline Wilson. So, bit of the background. Last night, I'll backtrack a little bit more. Yesterday, there was a meeting between all the presidents. And of course, Caro, for some reason, Caro thinks she was there. So she's breaking all this news. Oh, there's going to be 18. They're not happy with the 18 clubs. North Melbourne's going to Tasmania. They're going to get rid of teams, blah, blah, blah. Then she just randomly comes out with this thing that apparently they discuss, if someone punches the ball out of bounds, it's got to be deliberate. Like, where did you even get that from? She asked Eddie Maguire. Eddie Maguire's never heard of it. What? Why is she making up news? Like, I just don't get it. Just because you may think it's going to happen, for one, that's actually not going to happen. Everyone fucking roasted you on the panel for that because you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Get your facts right, Carrie, before you say shit, because most of the time you're already annoying when you're saying right facts. When you're saying wrong facts, it's even bloody worse. Please just shut your gob. You're shit on a Monday. You're meant to be good on a Wednesday and Free Classified, and now you're making yourself just suck by acting like that. Oh, just... Mason Caro, you're making me mad lately. Please just,
Yeah, it's a lot of just, I've heard this, I've heard that. Caro, you've heard nothing. Who are your sources? Divulge your sources.
She
who
would
are your
say
sources?
Who her sources are as well. Just clearly she's making that up. Like, who would she have heard that from? It's either she's making it up or her source is a piece of fucking shit, honestly. Like, seriously. Like, it's one or the other. And I'm guessing, like, Caroline Wilson, she obviously heard something and then she's twisted it like that to make it sound like how she wants it to sound.
Oh,
yeah.
That's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah,
she's just gone
sounds
with
like
it.
You go, Jeff.
No, I'll say quickly, then you go. She's just gone with just information. She doesn't know if it's factual or just not true, and she's just gone with it. Like, if any other journalist would have done it, she would have gone, fucking just going nuts on them. But because it's, her, it's like, all right, well, you get an exemption.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
You go, Chloe, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, look, I think, obviously we've chatted about Caro, a couple of episodes in a row now. I think it just kind of also highlights one of the bigger problems of, like, sports journalism or, like, broader commentary in general, in terms of, like, they can literally pull all of this shit out of their asses, cause all this chaos and uproar, and there's just, like, no consequences and no accountability for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a great point.
It really frustrates me, especially when it's like, stuff as outrageous as that, where, like, you could literally send clubs into a panic, like, oh my God, what, North Melbourne's going to move to a different state? Like,
I know,
it really pisses me off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, she said the Saints are leaving. Well, the Saints made the finals this year.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah, and wasn't it Bulldogs were going to merge with Saints or some bullshit like that?
Oh, who knows? Honestly, she just makes up shit after time. You just got to have it go in one ear, out the other. Honestly.
All right, Russ. Saying she's a real sort of Monday. The Monday stylings are on a Wednesday. Boy, oh boy, she just did not know where was left and where was right.
She's a real type of Saturday 4:40 type of vibe. That's kind of what we're gathering here. So
At best, mate. At best.
So, anyway, thanks for that, Russ. We love the Rager. We absolutely do. And Caro is becoming a regular feature on the show.
Caro's arrow, directed at herself.
Caro, if you're watching this, please watch out. We're coming. We're coming for your job. And two, back up your stats somehow. So, anyway, thanks for that, Russ. But moving on swiftly, obviously we got two beautiful big games coming up this week. So we love our finals footy and we think they're going to be absolute rippers. So let's kick us off. We've got Port Adelaide and Richmond on Friday night. So what are our thoughts on that game?
Yeah, so just quickly, no changes to either team. Came across the desk about 2 hours ago. So yeah, both teams pretty settled down in what should be an absolute cracker. Really hard to really say who I think wins this one. Really, there's a lot of good matchups across the board. So yeah, going to be a really interesting game.
Yeah, that's right. So there was an interesting stat that also came across my desk. I think it was yesterday or the day before that. That when Port Adelaide and Richmond played during the year, Richmond were missing 11 of their best players, and those players include Basha, Hooley, Prestia, Graham, Edwards, Cochin, Nankervis, and Asprey. So,
and they're all playing this week. So.
They're all playing this week.
And it was close last time without them.
So I think that's huge for them. Port Adelaide, yeah, they're playing in Adelaide. They love playing in Adelaide, but this game's going to come down the wire, especially with those guys that didn't participate in that game during the year. They're all at least B+ players at least, and you go by Basha, Hawley, and Edwards when they're on top of their best game. They're A+ players for Richmond. So, this game goes either way for me. But yeah, Jerry.
Yeah, well, I still reckon you'd have the Tigers as favourites, even though we're at Adelaide Oval. I still reckon the Tigers. I didn't realise how many people they had out. That's extraordinary. They had a lot of people out, and it was a really fucking good. It
was still a close game.
Yeah, Port Richmond last time was was pretty much the second. It was in the top 5 games of the year by far. Probably the second best game of the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think if Richmond get a cut, especially Edwards, Edwards just had so much in that midfield. Hooley, obviously, he was probably close to best on ground last week and just dominated when the game was hot. And then Curvis at least is another ruck option. Can't have bloody Marby Old Toll and all these sort of jibbers for ruckman. So I don't like tipping Richmond. I just do not like the club, but they're too good. I'm gonna have to tip them. Yeah. I want both of them to self-combust. I just both teams to just absolutely just kill each other and see what happens. But yeah, I reckon the Tigers win. And Lynchy, I reckon Lynchy kicks at least 3 or 4. And yeah, Dusty just goes off the leash. Has 30, takes the piss, and they march into a grand final against probably Brisbane.
Chloe?
Fair enough. Yeah, you guys have all brought up some really good points. I think the biggest one that kind of took everyone back was just how much of Richmond's team were missing the last time they played. And the margin for that game was only 21 points in Port's favour. So I think it could be, a bit of an interesting one tomorrow, honestly. And then on top of that, so if we look at last time they played, so you had Lyons, Rockcliffe, Gray and Boak were all pretty influential. But when you get, Richmond's best players back, they're going to be able to lock that movement down a lot, I think. So I don't think it's going to be, it's either going to be a pretty free-flowing game for both sides and just goal apiece kind of, up and down the field, or it's going to be really stop-start, pressure on, really struggling to get the ball moving. So I think it's going to be a really interesting game, honestly. what else was I going to say? Yeah, it's also Cochin's 250th, which I think is noteworthy, just because I think it's going to give them that bit more of a, I don't know, emotional boost for the Tigers, because you know, their skipper, they're not going to be wanting to lose a milestone like that for him. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be a pretty hard and tough game. Generally, from what I know, prelims will be pretty low scoring because teams just give it their all, because it's almost can sometimes be more of a harder game than the grand final, because you really just want to make sure you get there.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I'm expecting two really, really, really hard and tough games this week.
Yeah.
And hopefully a lot more entertaining than last week's game, more importantly.
For sure. I think both games will be absolute killers, honestly. Like, you would not expect any like really one-sided games this weekend at all. Generally, prelims are pretty close, and I'd expect them to both be close.
Yeah.
Hopefully the stand is good. Hopefully we see some goals, but I don't know. I'm not really expecting to see many goals, to be honest.
This one goes either way, and as we say, we all hate Richmond and we hate Port Adelaide as well. So if we're picking one team, I'm picking Port Adelaide. I don't want Richmond to make finals as much as I don't want to do my nude run. I need Port Adelaide to win this because I hate Richmond cocky supporters. So I'm saying Port Adelaide by 2 goals.
Yeah, fair enough. Just quickly, we'll just touch on a couple of the big matchups for this game as well.
Yeah.
So we got Port Adelaide. It'll most likely be, who do we think is going to go to Tom Lynch?
It'll be probably Jonas.
Yeah, Jonas
will go to Lynch, and Mackenzie will go to Rewalt.
Fair enough. And then what's going to happen if it's going to be really interesting, because Port Adelaide they've got those 2 tall key backmen, but who would go on Dusty if Dusty went down there?
I heard during the week, actually, I think it might have been Mark Robinson, but definitely in the midfield battle, Mark Robinson was saying obviously how dynamic Dusty was, and he was taking the piss a little bit last week. So they need to put a big body on him, someone like Ollie Wines to go with him in the middle. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But going down forward, I think it's so hard to match up on Dusty going down forward. There's not really maybe like a Darcy Byrne-Jones potential. He's a bit of a rough and tough guy. I don't know if there's any other Port Adelaide defenders that could actually.
They got Ryan Burton down back as well, who could maybe go in too, I think.
Yeah. I think Ryan Burton's just a little bit too light for me. And I think Darcy Byrne-Jones is more of a bashing player. So
I think they go Jonas. I reckon they actually go put Jonas on Martin, but that's going to expose him.
That's even if he goes forward.
That's what I'm going to say,
yeah.
He's going to get exposed. Like if
he gets hungry.
I reckon they're going to keep him in the mid, honestly.
No, I actually reckon Martin might go forward quite a bit, because I think he's going to definitely manipulate it, because I'm not really sure who he can go on.
Yeah, that's a trump card, Russ.
For me, Port's playing? No. Oh yeah, he is. He's on the bench. He's named to start on the bench.
You still got Cleary, Jonas, and Mackenzie. You got 3 key backs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so one of them will probably go to Martin. But yeah, I think I don't know. Just in my opinion, I reckon Port Adelaide their biggest weakness is probably their back line.
Yeah,
like we've seen it in games, especially that game when Geelong took them to part. That was because Tom Hawkins, because Jonas they exploited that.
Yeah.
Even in that first qualifying final, Geelong exploited it as well. It's just Hawkins just missed a couple of easy goals, so the game could have went.
Yeah.
They could have went another way. So yeah, I think that's going to go long. Tom Lynch is going to go a long way. As much as we all hate Tom Lynch or we don't love him, he's going to go a massive way to deciding this game. So
yeah, he's their X factor. He's our X factor.
As will Charlie Dixon for the Power as well. He needs to step up. Charlie Dixon for mine in all their losses, he's always been quiet. So, and even in that first final, he was trying to command the ball, but he didn't really do anything. He kicked 1 goal from a free kick that wasn't even there. So, he really needs to lift.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, but it'll be hard for him too, because I dare say they're going to be tagging him pretty hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they will be. Yeah, but he needs to. If he wants to be seen as a good player of the competition, he really needs to step his authority in this game, or else I don't think they'll win if he doesn't do well.
Yeah.
They don't really have many avenues. Like they have an even spread of goal kickers, yes, but they need him to step up and kick 2 or 3. So,
yeah. What are we thinking about X factors and game margin? Anyone?
Oh gosh. Okay, so margin, I'm going to say, just because I will not be happy if Richmond wins. I really hope that Port win. I reckon it's going to be tight, though. I reckon it's going to be like 7-8 points. X factors. I don't know. It's hard to say players that we haven't already talked about. So, going a bit left field, then probably Butters for Port. And for the Tigers, probably Hooley, honestly, in that back line. He had a pretty big game last week, so he's got to do the same again, I think, to keep, the Port's forward line a bit on the quieter side and making sure that it's getting off the back line nice and smoothly.
Yeah, that's a fucking good one. I reckon, actually, I'm going to go a bit left field as well, Chloe. I reckon Richmond, Prestia. I reckon if he has a really good game and he can sort of do something, the human meatball, the old European boy, I reckon they do well. And for Port, I reckon Jonas. I'm going to go, if that back line, as Russ said, that is their definite weak link. Like, they're just been all season that way, so they've been able to cover it quite well. So Jonas fires and he can at least command that back line. Then I reckon they go a long way to winning. But I've got Richmond still to win. I've got Richmond to win by 14 points. I reckon they get it done in a close-ish sort of one.
Yeah, fair enough, Jerry. I've got to go for Richmond as well, unfortunately, by a couple of goals. I think they're just... I think if they play how they did against St Kilda, they won't win, but I don't think they'll play that. I think they'll step it up. Like, whenever they've had to step it up this year, they have, and they always they always seem to get the job done, which we do not love at all. Bit of a left field one for Richmond. Smokey, Marlon Pickett. He has done absolutely nothing the entire year. He actually has not done anything all year. Like, I actually don't know how he's still getting a game. So I'm going to pick him as my X factor because he's had no influence on the whole season. So if he could have a big game, then that should help him because he's literally done nothing all year, as I just said. Port Adelaide X factor. I'm going to go Scott Lysett. I reckon Port Adelaide need to exploit the ruck.
That's a very good one.
They've got Scott Lysett and they've got Adams. So they need to just work Toby Nankervis to the ground, really. And also, quick question: who do we reckon? Who's going to be Richmond's second ruckman? Who's going to pitch in when Toby Nankervis is off? Who do we think?
Probably someone like Noah Bolter, maybe.
Yeah,
they're saying Noah Bolter. I don't know if I rate that. I don't rate it.
I think he's
I don't know.
I think he's too important down back for him. So,
I agree. I think he's too important too. So that's interesting. So Port Adelaide could definitely exploit that. That's what they're going to look to get on top of the game when Ned Curtis is on the bench. Definitely.
For me, my X factor for Richmond is going to be Shane Edwards. Very, very good. He's a very good player, but I feel like when he's up and about, they're a very, very good team. And I'm going to say for Port Adelaide, I'm going to go for Rosie. I think he's just had such an up and down season. There's been a few games where he's been on top, but it's clear to see that when he's on top of his game and playing to his best ability, he's burning players, he's kicking goals, and he's very he's very good use for Port Adelaide. So that's my picks. And Port Adelaide.
Very versatile.
Port Adelaide by about 2 goals. So
love that.
I shall write them down so we don't forget.
Yeah, good call.
I was just about to say, I thought that's what you were doing.
Never actually revisit our margin to see if we got got close. Like we could have got the margin right. I don't honestly never have known.
I just forget.
Hold on, let me write margins. Chloe, what do you have?
So I said Port by 7 or 8.
Yep. Jez?
And then I said Richmond by 14. 14?
Yep. Russ?
I say Richmond by 17.
Oh, you dog.
And then I had Port Adelaide by about 2 goals. So
that's
nice. Easy peasy. Alrighty. Well, that's our tips for that game. Are we good to move on to the next one?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. So we got on Saturday night a ripper from the Gabba, and the Gabba's looking absolutely beautiful at the moment. We'll get to reasons why it's going to look even better on grand final day.
Oh boy!
The turfy over here. I'm going to tell you guys why it's going to look immaculate, but still have no idea why they're doing it. Anyway, we'll get to that later. We got Brisbane Geelong Saturday night. Another ripper game, another game that can go either way. So let's go to Jez. Jez, kick us off. What's your thoughts on this game going into it?
Yeah, so, geez. So I'm thinking the Lions win this one. I think it's the Lions' time. I think that winning that game against Richmond in the qualifying final hopefully will set them up to bigger and better things.
Yep.
I think the last time these two teams played, it was only one quarter where Brisbane just switched off. Other than that, 3 out of 4 quarters, they were really good against Geelong. So,
and again, they didn't kick straight as well. They actually dominated the first 2 quarters of the game and couldn't kick. So,
yeah, 100% Russ. And that's where I think Brisbane will come to play. I think, Neil, Lions, all these boys in the middle just come out and absolutely rip the Cats apart. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Danger. Do they play him? They sort of do what they do with Dusty in terms of playing him forward, playing him in the middle when they get smacked. I don't know, but either way, I think the forwards kick straight for the Lions. It's going to be interesting to see how they go in terms of their sort of forward line, the Lions, and getting different sort of targets rolling through there, and how old mate Eric Hill goes down there, kicking a couple of snags. But yeah, I think the Lions just get it done, and just move on into October, the last week in October.
Nice, Chloe.
I think it's going to be a bit of an interesting one. So, like Russ touched on a little bit. So the last time they met, Brisbane were pretty dominant for a little while, but then after half time, they were just like disappeared off the face of the earth, and Geelong came out and absolutely pummeled them. Honestly, like they're very even sides. Like, I think before last week, I would have said I'd be worried about Geelong keeping up with Brisbane's speed. But I mean, like after the show they put on against Collingwood last week, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, honestly.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing for Brisbane will obviously be kicking between the big. Okay, come say hi.
Oh, friend of the show.
Yeah, look, it's Taylor.
Oh, look who it is. Old mate.
I told you there was a special guest.
Friend of the show. Who knows nothing about footy.
We'll get her on for grand final edition.
Yeah, just for the lols. Ironically, my sister is a Cat supporter, but ask her to name more than 2 players, and she wouldn't be able to. Oh dear. Hang on, the brain's jumping back on the train.
Yeah, so talk about how obviously Lions and Cats. Lions dominated, and then after half time, Cats went bang, 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 bang. That sort of stuff.
It's probably more eloquent than I said it too.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But with this game, I think usually I feel like we most often say it's one in the mid, but I think this one's going to be one in the forward line. Honestly, the big forwards Hawkins needs to be switched on again. Who else is up there? Dangerfield and Selwood were pretty big plays in terms of getting it forward as well. And then likewise on the other side. So for the Lions, you need to see some of the younger players stepping up too. I think Raynar's been pretty quiet lately.
Yep.
Who's the dude? Hipwood. I was going to say, who's the dude who has a 50-50 kick? Need to be kicking it through the big ones, because in the game, like the one on Saturday, they can't afford to be missing some easy set shots.
Yep.
So yeah.
Nice. Really good game. Again, it's a game that comes down the forward line, and how Hawkins is up and about in Hipwood as well. So Harris Andrews is going to play a big key role. But I generally think if Geelong win this game, Dangerfield plays majority forward line. I don't think they've got, after last week's performance, I don't really think that, looking at their Brisbane's back line, I don't know if they've got anyone that can really, like the way Danger was flying at balls last week, he was playing ridiculous. He played out of his skin. So if he plays like that again, I don't think Brisbane's got anyone that can defend him. So, and Geelong's got a lot of talented midfielders. They've got Meningola, Selwood, Duncan, Guthrie that can all play through the middle all game. So I think he'll definitely rotate forward, but I reckon he'll start forward as well. So, I think it'll be Dangerfield will play a role, but the Brisbane backline is a big key if they want to win this game.
Yeah, I actually disagree with you on that one, Beach. I reckon, like with regards to Dangerfield, I actually reckon. I actually think like I know he played for like a lot of forward time last week, but that was just because like they were just winning by so much. There was no point playing him in the midfield. Like I think his best position is the midfield.
Yeah.
And I just think Brisbane's midfield is so strong that he's going to need to help him out. So I think he'll start in the midfield, and then I think he might drift forward. That's my opinion. Like who knows what's going to happen, but I think I think he is still their best midfielder. So I think he should start in the midfield firstly.
Yeah.
And then if he's struggling, like, or even maybe if the forwards are struggling, you can move into the forward line to sort of like a Mr. Fix It.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Really, this is really got to be an interesting game. Not really sure who's going to win. I think I personally think Geelong's experience might get them over the line. I'm not sure. I don't know if Brisbane's sort of ready for that yet. Like I know they showed it in the first final that they were ready, but I think like they got under Richmond's skin. I think Geelong's a bit more professional than that. Like they've had a lot of preliminary finals. I know they've choked a lot in preliminary finals. But yeah, I just think I don't know. I just think the Cats are going to win this one. I think when the Cats could turn it on, like when the Cats flick the switch, they're the best team in the comp. Like we've seen when they have those quarters, they can kick like 7 or 8 goals just like that out of nowhere, and all of a sudden the game's over. So Brisbane need to take the most of their opportunities, or else I think Geelong will win this game and be in a grand final. So.
Yeah, nice. What are the key matchups in this game, guys?
Well, midfield's going to be obviously a huge battle. Obviously, Geelong's midfield's more experienced, so the younger mids are going to have to step up. You've obviously got Man Mitch playing in the centre. He's going to have to bring that physicality because he's obviously one of their veterans. So he's going to have to be really hard and tough and try as much as it's hard. Try and match it with Selwood's hardness, I think, because that'll go. Mitch doesn't need to get a lot of the ball, but he just needs to be. He needs to be that barometer for him, and he needs to get him going and be really, really hard and tough. I think that'll go away to helping them win the game.
Yep.
Who else plays midfield for Brisbane? I just haven't looked. Calamarchi.
Neil Lyons.
Neil's obviously their most important player. Geelong won't tag Neil. Geelong don't tag, so Neil will get off the leash. Just a matter of how effective he can be. If he can be more effective than, say, the Geelong's best midfielder, that could also go a long way to win the game. Yep. Lyons is also obviously very important for Brisbane as well. He's another more experienced player who somehow got cut from Gold Coast, which we don't understand.
I still can't understand. I still
don't know.
I just don't know.
We don't know why that happened. We will never know why that happened. But yeah, it's an interesting battle in the midfield, really. Also for Geelong, Gary Rowan needs to really step up in the forward line.
Did not do that at all last week.
Last week without winning by a lot, he did stuff all.
Yeah.
Like he needs to step up for me. Because he needs to be applying that pressure as he always does. When he's applying that pressure, it definitely doesn't have to get a lot of the ball, but he just needs to be applying a lot of that pressure. I think Sam Simpson was a good addition into their team last week. He provided that start. They needed a bit more quickness, especially against Brisbane's quite a quick team. Brisbane will try and play fast-paced. So I don't think Geelong need to play as fast-paced as them. They definitely needed another small in there like Simpson to help him out too.
Yeah, and obviously, Andrews, Hawkins, that matchup should be very, very interesting. I think Tommy's got a point to prove. I think this final series, he's had the opportunities, just hasn't been able to kick straight. I think if he gets a bag, that'll go a long way to winning.
I've got to butt in for a sec. Could Darcy Gardner go at Hawkins and then Harris Andrews just drifts in type of thing? Because Harris Andrews is just quite good at that role. So
I could say that.
Who does Darcy Gardner go on then? I don't actually know who he would go on. Because you look at Geelong's forward line that's named at the moment to start on. They've got Hawkins, Simpson, Myers, Rowan, Dalhouse, and O'Connor. So that's all.
That's fucking interesting.
So do you actually put Harris Andrews on Hawkins, or do you use Harris Andrews as that intercept marker?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. I think Gardner goes to Hawkins because, that's what they usually do. Even though Tommy Lynch didn't play against Brisbane, but Harris Andrews was always one over the top. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
that's
think
my
they play someone else on Hawkins because he's only real forward there,
Mm,
unless Reece Stanley pushes forward. But
yeah.
put someone else on Hawkins and Harris Andrews just come over the top for easy picking. So
Yeah, I agree with that. And then if Deja goes forward, who goes on Deja? Do you put
someone like what's his name? Is it Lester? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan Lester.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lester.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough. What other matchups? We got the ruck as well. Stephen Martin. He didn't. I said he had to step up in that first week of finals, and he didn't really. So he needs to. He needs to lift because Reece Stanley's been doing quite well lately. So he's really he needs to pick up Stephen Martin, I reckon. So
Yeah.
He's one of their experienced players, so he really needs to. Yeah, he needs to shine, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good point. Like Reece Stanley last week was definitely playing like above his capabilities. Played. I think one of his better games in the ruck, and if the big O can come in and at least provide Stephen Martin with some sort of backup, that'd be a good sort of win for the Lions. But yeah, from what you've described, Russ, it's very interesting, especially that Cats forward line, because you look at that forward line, it's rather small, except for Hawkins and those boys down there. Rowan is probably their second tallest guy down there, and he's not really that tall. So that's fucking very good point. I think if they can sort of contain Hawkins and Andrews can get off the leash a little bit, Brisbane we're close to winning. That being said, though, I reckon Brisbane win. Like, I'm just going to go against you here, Russ. Like, how you said the Cats, but I reckon the Lions do it. It's their time. They're never going to have a better chance to win a grand final.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
It's now. It's now or never, because then they've got to travel to like Melbourne next year. So, I've got the Lions by 20 points.
Yeah, fair enough. Just a quick one as well. Who do you reckon goes to Charlie Cameron, real quick?
I reckon the Stew. Goes to.
Stu's a bit tall, mate. I don't think you put him in Stu. I was going to say more like a Jake, maybe Colin Jasny or maybe Jack Henry. Probably.
I like Colin Jasny then.
Still, I'm still a worry for me for Geelong is how tall their backline is. Like, look at their backline. They've got Jack Henry, Harry Taylor, Colin Jasny, Stewart, Blixhaven, and Henderson.
Yeah.
Far too tall for me still. So that's a worry for me. And then, like, you look at Brisbane's forward line, they've named Zorko, Radar, and Cameron all in their three smalls. So Brisbane could potentially run them off their feet, and they might have to. Geelong's named DeMarco O'Connor in the forward line, but is he his normal position in their back line?
Halfback.
Yeah, because he's named in the forward line, so I think they'll probably need to shift Mark O'Connor to the back line. For this game. It was just to go on one of the Brisbane small forwards.
Yeah. No, fair enough. We'll go to Chloe, X Factor, and margin.
Oh, okay. I think it's going to be a tough one, but I'm with Jez. I'm hoping Brisbane get over the line. And I think that they definitely have the potential. And I guess just to address your point quickly too, Russ, I get what you're saying in terms of Geelong's backline being a bit taller. But then for me, all that means is that Brisbane really have to push forward, get that body on body, and put up a good contest and make sure they're getting in a front position when it comes to marking. Yeah. And I think they have some really good capability for that. I mean, looking at Cameron's fly, for example, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue, but I mean, it's something to watch for sure. Yeah. So I reckon Brisbane by, I'm going to say 14 points.
Yep.
X factors, so I'm going to stick with my forwards because I reckon they're going to be the most important thing in this game. So I'm going to say Hipwood. He needs to kick it between the big ones. And make sure he's nailing those easy set shots. And then for Geelong, I don't want to say Hawkins because I did last time when he was a potato. So I'll probably say Danger, honestly. I reckon he is going to get, even though he's, predominantly in the mid, I reckon he's going to push forward at some points and have a, pretty big impact on the game. So, yeah.
Jez.
Yeah, so I reckon Brisbane win by 20 points. X Factor, he's not gonna get a lot of touches, and I think he's just gonna get them going in terms of just getting around everyone. He's Mitch Robinson. I reckon he's an X Factor for the Lions.
What I said, mate, earlier.
Do you want to take Robbo and I'll take someone else?
Nah, it's all right, mate. I had Robbo. It's all good, mate. I'll think of someone else. Don't worry. It's okay.
All right, I'll let Russ take Robbo. I'll go.
No. It's all right, mate.
There you go.
Okay.
You're right.
I'll find someone else. It's all good.
Oh, because I was gonna go for midfielder, but I was like, no, I'll go.
Sorry, mate. I've already got another one, mate. It's okay.
No,
I really rated your point, Russo, so I'm gonna go with
Thanks,
Robbo.
mate. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all
Thank
right.
you.
Well, that's a good point. So,
Cheers.
yeah, I reckon if he can at least fire and get in the face of like Danger and Selwood and all these bloody nipsies from Geelong, then he'll do some damage. Geelong I reckon Menegola. I've really been high on Menegola this season, and yeah, he's fucking definitely killed it this year and definitely improved. So it could be either Menegola or Guthrie, but I'm going to go Menegola's X Factor.
Yeah, cool.
And he just gets off the leash.
Yeah, cool. Beige, could you write down the X factors we say as well, so we can look back on it too?
Yeah, I've got them all.
That's what he's been doing.
No, I thought he was just writing the margin and all that, not the X factors as well. Yeah, good. Because we don't write it and we don't go back over it, so we don't know like if we're right or wrong.
Faith.
Yeah, we're just making predictions.
All right, so I'll go Geelong by 15 points.
Yep.
Geelong X Factor Gary Rowan, mate. You need to lift your game, mate. Just give me something. Give me something. just like we say to the old Robs. Just give me something. Something.
The Rob's giving me nothing. He's giving me absolute nada.
Hey, Brisbane, this is a very random one. I'm going to say the big Oscar McInerney. He needs to.
Took
fair
mine.
enough.
All right. Oh, no.
Took mine. Fuck.
I'm not saying for him to be best on ground. I'm just saying if he plays a good game, if he can chip, it's going to be hard for him in the ruck because Geelong have Blixas and they have Stanley, who are both athletic ruckmen, whereas Big O, he's tall and lanky and he's not very athletic. So if he could just compete when he's the second ruckman and he can just create a contest in the forward line, hopefully that'll help him. As much as you guys are laughing and don't agree, that's okay.
No, I rate it. I got the
that was because you stole my one, Jez, by the way.
I did. I liked it so much I stole it.
I've gone for the Cats as well. I think they'll have a little bit too much experience. I know it's at the Gabba, but I think they'll have a little bit too much experience. Got them by 14 points, or the 2-goal margin, around the 2-goal margin, whatever.
Not my margin. Come on, man. Not cool.
What's that? Oh yeah, sorry.
Keep talking.
I took your margin. But a different team.
I don't care. It's still the same number.
Okay, good call. My X factor for Geelong is Reece Stanley. I feel like in the first quarter, who'd they play? I can't remember Port Adelaide. His first quarter was very, very good. He had like 8 touches and a goal. Then kind of went to the library as well to join Dusty. So, yes, that's my X factor for Geelong. And my X factor for Brisbane, another interesting one, but I really like him because he provides off the back line is Daniel Rich. He's a gun, but that goal he kicked against Richmond within he kicked the first goal of the game, and he's lethal left foot off that back line. He's so good, and I can't wait to see Dan Richin and Grant Birchall put on a clinic on Saturday night. So, but yeah, I still got the Cats by 14 points.
All right. Also, a quick one. Who do we think's got a choke for both teams? One player from each team. Who's got to go to the library for Geelong and who's got to go to the library?
Library. Okay, hold on.
Jez, who's going to the library for Geelong?
Old segment, Russ. He's coming with a new one. He's coming here. So I'm going to go.
Bit of a left field idea, mate, as well.
Yeah. So for Geelong, I reckon if Hawkins does not kick well early, he's going there.
He's going to the library.
He's going to the library. He's renting out. He's going to loan out Harry Potter. He's going to read it for another 2 hours. Because boy, oh boy, if he does not kick straight early, there could be trouble.
Right. Tell me. So you got Hawkins library.
Yeah.
And tell me one from the other 3 teams as well.
Oh, for that. Okay, so I'll go with the Tigers. I'll go. Russ went the X Factor Pickett. I'm going to go library Pickett. I reckon he does not do anything. I reckon for Port. Oh, trying to think of who.
I'll put Jerry on the spot here.
That's a tough one. Wait, I'll go. So who have I said? I've said Geelong. I'll go Brisbane now. I reckon Rayner. He might not. I reckon he'll if they win, he'll find the grand final. Not too much now. And Port. I reckon Boca's a quiet one. I'm gonna go left field again. I
Oi!
reckon Bogue. I
That's
reckon
not a
there's.
bad one,
I
actually.
reckon they just tag Bogue out of the game. He just doesn't have any
Right.
influence.
That's
So-
fucking. That's a big call.
That is a huge call, and that is a lot. That might be the dumbest call I've ever said. But I think he doesn't fire. And I'll pick Richmond.
Nice.
Yeah, good call. Fair enough.
Chloe.
We'd rather left field.
Oh God. All right. Well, let's go backwards. We'll start with Friday's game. So for Port, who? Let me hang on. Let me do a quick.
Just pass and go to the next team.
Huh?
If you're not stuck, just pass and go to the next team, and then.
All right, boss. Tell me what to do. All right, the Tigers is actually an easy run. I reckon Castagna is going to go to the library.
Yep.
For Port, I'm going to say Marshall.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
Because he freaking let me down last week, something shocking, and he was freaking on Rowan half the time. Anyway, for Brisbane, well, I was going to say Rayner as well, but you know what, we'll keep it interesting and I'll do something different. I reckon. Oh, well, I know. All right, so I'm going to switch it up here. I'm going to say McInerney is going to have his going to be in the library bit.
No,
it can't be.
no,
It cannot be.
not the big O.
Is going to be a 0, I reckon.
All right, that.
I'm quite proud of myself for that. Just came up with it. And for the Cats, I reckon Ablett's going to be in the library.
Oh no.
Oh no, that was my
Oh,
one.
Yablet. No.
Yeah, Kabablet, I reckon.
Gee, in his last game ever. In his last game ever.
Raider.
Yeah.
No.
That T-shirt by the Carlton Drafts label. Oh,
Yeah.
All right, I've got one.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he
Excellent.
said yeah.
Yeah.
Before.
Next
Yeah,
one.
go Russ.
Alrighty, I'll jump in. So Geelong, Harry Taylor, mate, he's going to the library. Too old, too slow. Retired now, mate. Like, seriously. He doesn't do anything when he's out there. Like, I don't get it. How he's getting a gig. Like, I just cannot comprehend. Like, I don't rate him. Yes, mate, you were funny back in the day when you gave the sandwich. Where did he give the sandwich to that?
Yeah, the
other
ham
player?
sandwich.
The ham sandwich.
Real funny
ham
stuff.
Mate, ever since then, you've been a downhill skier, mate. You're a bit, I think Geelong will keep him for another year, but he needs to go. Penn looks done. For Brisbane, I'm going to say Keedy and Coleman just because I barely know who he is.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think he's that good. So he'll take a trip to the library, mate, have fun in the library. For Port Adelaide, I'm going to say Stephen Motlop. I think he had an arsey game first week.
Fair, yeah.
Had a couple of fluky over the back goals, so I don't think he will do that again. And for the Tigers, I'm going to say Dan Rioli because I'm sick of everyone saying all the Riolis are good. Yes, Cyril was good, but Daniel Rioli, you are not really good.
Nice. All right. Geez, you took mine already.
Beach.
Wowee. Richmond, Dustin Martin, back to the library. He's still there.
Back to the library.
He's going in there again.
Back to the library.
Yeah.
He's
He
got
must for a membership.
Dusty.
Yeah.
And let's go with Oh,
There's a lot that can go in the bin. There is a
yeah,
lot.
there is. Ollie Wines.
Ooh,
Both midfielders back to the library.
spicy.
And next game. Oh, wait, that's
Yeah,
free.
you're good.
Dust. Oh, I put it in the wrong column. Shit. There. Yep. And then the other game. I'm gonna get my freaking list up. Okay, I don't even have the list up. Danger.
Love
Ooh,
that.
Danger.
I love
He's
that.
just picking all the good players.
Yeah.
Danger.
Get him in the bin. He's had enough.
Anarchy, pure anarchy.
Danger and Oh, no, the Richmond one I was going to say, no, Stuff Dusty, Rewalt. Rewalt's going to the
Yeah,
Order to join.
get in the
Yeah.
bin.
I was
That
waiting
we
for
rate.
one of you to say Rewell, but no one did.
Yeah, we went left field. We went too left field.
Danger
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Geelong. Danger for Geelong. Danger, blah, blah, blah.
But
What's their back line? I was going to say Harry Taylor flip. Brisbane. I'm thinking of Brisbane.
Brisbane. I was about to say, what the fuck are you on about?
I'm thinking about. He's been said. Fuck. Jeez, this is on the spot shit.
yeah, Rusty just real bamboozled us
Yeah,
here.
he's just real like.
Yeah. Maybe this was not a good segment to bamboozle everyone with.
It's all right. We're gonna try stuff.
Brisbane,
We got to try some
Yeah, we
stuff
love
here.
it. We love it.
Let's just go Jared Lyons.
Oh, don't mind
Okay.
that. Yeah, like that.
I'll fix that up later. Anyway, that is our preview for the finals this weekend. Yeah, great games. I just don't want to fall asleep at halftime. I don't want to have to get the remote, turn it off, and start playing FIFA at halftime. So we just don't want to be doing that. So anyway, hopefully you guys like our tips, and hopefully we're right. So and we can come back to them next week. So
Yeah, let us know what you think. If you don't like what, well,
moving on, we've got some big issues here. Big Russ has given me a
Okay.
list here. He's got a freaking big list as well. Our first topic is something to do with North Melbourne, 7 games in Tassie. What's the go there?
Yeah, so good old footy classified breaking news. This is
sorry,
actually
Caro.
true, though. So this is actually
Oh,
correct
okay.
news. So was Eddie Maguire confirmed it without confirming it that North Melbourne have been offered to play a minimum of 7 games in Tasmania, if not more, if not 11 games. So the plan could potentially be they don't travel to any other state besides Tasmania and Melbourne. So they don't have to travel to WA or anywhere.
Yep.
So they just played Tassie and they just played Victoria.
Yep.
So that could be beneficial for North in a way. Obviously, they could get more money as well. So and they don't have to travel as much. So obviously they're a struggling club. So that could obviously help them as young teams tend to struggle if they have to travel to places like a WA or a Gabba and things like that. So yeah, that's a real interesting left field idea. So yeah, that's been put to the table in North Melbourne. So we'll see what happens from there and see if that'll eventuate into anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I reckon take it. I'm not going to WA and not going to the Gabba, so just playing Tassie, playing Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a really good deal, Russ.
Yeah, I think it's a good deal. Yeah, North are going to definitely consider it. So yeah, hopefully good thing. I hope North can fast track their rebuild. I feel bad for them. I don't want them to be shit. Like, it's hard for them when you have no supporter base and no money. It's very difficult for a small like they're literally like the smallest club in the AFL. So yeah, hopefully they can fix up their footy department, fix up their list, and turn it around quicker than what people think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like they're not. Like you said, I feel bad for them because they're not one of the teams that everyone hates. Like they've got a good side. They've had some pretty good. Shut up, Ben. They've had some pretty good players in the past, and yeah, like they deserve a good chance to rebuild. Like when I first heard about this, I was like, I don't really get the point of it, but yeah, I guess to relieve them of some sort of financial burden, and I guess get them having like a solid supporter base in another state too. Obviously, the AFL will find that quite useful to try and grow the sport and stuff down there a bit more. So yeah, like it's definitely not going to hurt North. So I think they're definitely going to seriously consider it, if not accept it.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. Moving on, we got the Adam Treloar issue. Obviously, his wife signed to play netball in the Gold Coast, and it's a bit up in the air at the moment. But Treloar says he's a Collingwood player, or whatnot. But I know he says that, and whatever else he's said. But to move away from your wife and play, and for her to be up in the Gold Coast, for you to be in Melbourne, and you've got a kid. Yeah, I don't know which way around it. I feel like the Suns will reach out to him and potentially make a deal. So
I think he'll stay at Collingwood. He's still got about 4 years left of his contract. Like, she's only going up there for 10 months, so it's only a 10-month contract. So
yeah.
Yeah, because like, imagine if he moves up there and then she like after 10 months she doesn't get another contract there, then he'd be kind of screwed. So I think he'll stay at the Pies. So I think that's sort of just a move on thing. I think I don't know, players like, I'm sure that's occurred at times where their girlfriends, wives, etc., get jobs out of the States and they just manage it. So
Yeah.
that'll be
Yeah.
okay.
You guys go. You
No,
guys go.
Go.
Well, I was just gonna say I really rate Adam Trelaw just as a bloke. I think the way that he was sort of saying, he didn't want the story to be about him. He wanted it to be about like his wife and stuff. That was pretty cool, and it sort of shows you the bloke he is. He doesn't seem like the bloke that's just gonna walk out on fucking the Pies to go to the Coasters for money. Like that's fucking stupid. Like I'd rather be at the Pies right now as much as we love the Coasters coming in, but yeah, I think if anything, it's just shown how good of a bloke he is, and like the fact that like they've created stuff around him and not his wife. I think him sort of saying like should be worrying about her and stuff. I think I just think he's a great bloke, and he stays at the Pies, and I think they do some damage next year. The Pies, I reckon they can actually get something going.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, so he stays, and Grundy stays, and they all stay. Maybe.
Yeah, speaking of the Pies as well, Darcy Moore signed on for another 2 years. So that's pretty good for the Pies. Only concern would be that after those 2 years, he becomes a free agent. So he will have a right to walk out at the end of his 2-year deal. So that could cause some problems in a couple of years' time. So but I guess they'll worry about that when the time comes.
Yeah, for sure. And sorry, just to take it back to the Trelaw thing, just to build on what Jez said, because I can't get a word in when Russell's speaking.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'll talk a lot as well. So
done with that. Sorry.
Fine. No. It was just because I was doing some extra digging into it, and basically, so it's only for 7 months, and Trelaw was like pretty cut because his wife didn't even get the chance to announce it because the AFL picked up on it before she even got to talk about it properly.
Oh, really?
And it's also her last season, so she's wanting to finish up there because I'm pretty sure that's where she started her very distinguished netball career. So she's going back up there just to kind of wrap things up really nicely and put a bow on it. So so I don't think Trelaw will be moving to the Gold Coast just for 7 months because she's already said that it's going to be her last season, which I think is being very overlooked as well for some reason by everyone in the AFL
I actually
community.
didn't know about that at all. I didn't realize it was going to be her last season. So now he's 100% not going to move.
Yeah. I'm 90% sure I did read that somewhere, and I'm not making shit up. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We've got the Ep8 thing, Russ. What's going on there?
Big Eddie. So he was on AFL 360 last night, I think it was. So he was speaking to them. He just said that he's working with Carlton at the moment to sign a new contract. So it looks like got to be a very heavily development role. So he'll probably similar to what Sean Burgoyne's doing at the Hawks. So he'll probably play half the games. Might not even travel. Play every second week. So yeah, so he'll play for the Blues for 1 more year, and then he'll go into a full-time development role.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, I definitely rate just Eddie doing that role. That's the best role for him, in all honesty. I staggered me how he got another year, but that's another thought for another day. So I reckon just get the kids going, get the fish dog, Gibbons, get these boys just honing their craft in the forward line and just provide value where he can. That's literally his role next year. So I've got no issues at all if he's going to stay around the club playing half the games. That's perfect, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah, sick.
Awesome. We have Jordan Ridley signed on for 4 years at Essendon, and obviously there's other good news that Andy McGrath also signed on for a few years at Essendon as well. So got a few of their young blokes signing on as much as everyone wants to leave. It's good that they've gone 2 of their young guns to sign on, which is good.
Yeah, they needed to lock in that signature. So yeah, good on him. They got him on a 4-year deal. They got him when he was young at least, so they don't have to pay him over. So it's also another positive.
Yep. Yeah. I'll touch on this for a little bit because I'm a turfie.
It's actually your job. Yeah.
Here we go.
This is legit my job. So Melbourne MCG for some reason lifting up turf and putting it in a nice truck and sending it all the way down to Brisbane. So all the way up to Brisbane. So I really don't know what the thoughts are there. Brisbane's ground already looks good. They posted a picture today and it looks fine. I think there's just might be to do with the patch in the middle or a patch, I think, on the wing potentially. But I don't understand the thoughts about it. Grass is grass at the end of the day, and I don't understand the thoughts about it. The last thing you want for footy players is for turf not to settle or root in, because then it's just going to be like, if you guys remember, would have been the Telstra Dome when all the grass kept like flicking up over and over again. You don't want that to happen. So hopefully that gets rooted in by the time of the grand final or whatnot. But I don't understand it, and a lot of my other turf colleagues and everything don't understand it either. But I guess, as the saying goes, it is what it is. So
their thing is, the MCG is like the spiritual home. So they want to bring
whatever. Yeah,
they want to bring some of the spiritual home to the Gabba to make it sort of like feel like it's at the MCG, even though it's really not. Like, fuck, just let the Gabba host it. It's 1 year. Suck it up, get over it. Next year it'll be at the G. We move on.
Russ, is there no synthetic grass for us at the in Brisbane? Is there no grass in Brisbane? Because why are they getting the grass on there?
Yeah, it's a bit dumb, but anyway.
Next one, GWS are asking for some money. Is that true, Russ?
Yeah, so you know how they used to have, Sydney and GWS used to have that COLA allowance or whatever the hell it's called, where because COLA, the cost of living allowance, because Sydney's more expensive. So they used to have that. And then once Buddy Franklin signed the 10-year deal, that got scrapped. So it didn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And now GWS are having their little sook saying, we need the COLA allowance. We need to sign our players. We don't have enough money in the salary cap.
Yeah.
Honestly, they got to just shut the fuck up. Seriously. Like, just because you're in you're in the middle of nowhere. No one wants to come to your club anyway. Like, we'll talk about this in the chat, and we're not going to touch on this now, but in 5-10 years' time, I reckon they're just going to be shambles. Like, no one's going to want to come to them. No one's going to want to play in the middle of nowhere. As Dad said to me, like, the other day, playing in Blacktown's like playing in the Dandenongs. Like, why would you want to go live in the Dandenongs? Like, seriously.
I love that.
Like, yeah, if you want to go into the bloody city, you got to drive an hour. Like, it's just a pain in the ass. But like, you're just so isolated from everyone. You can't see your mates. You're just stuck with footy players. I'm pretty sure that most of them still all sort of live together. I know it was like that when they started. I don't know if it's still like that now, but don't rate that at all. Just have to suck it up. You're not getting any extra money. So yeah, good luck retaining all your players. See you later, Jez Cameron.
If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. GWS have been given everything on a silver platter from the start. I mean, like any fucking club could sit there and go, we don't have enough room in our salary cap. Like, you know what? That's the whole fucking point. It's to keep, like, you know, the playing field as even as possible. Just shut the fuck up and deal with it. Seriously, I don't want to hear it at all.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Jez, what's your intel of Jeremy Cameron, mate? So Geelong's Brian Cook stated over the week that they're heavily interested in him, and Jeremy Cameron still tosses up. He's a very loyal man. But what do you think's got to lure him to Geelong, mate? You've got some inside intel.
Oh, mate, what is it? I told you this, and I don't think people actually. I didn't know how you didn't know this. So Jez Cameron loves to fish. All right, so I said he'll go to Geelong because you can fish more down there or some shit like that. That's I reckon one of the main reasons why he will go to Geelong. Like, I'm not even trying to be like joking about it. I'm actually serious. Like, I think he will go to Geelong because he can fish there more, and that's it. Like, that's the truth. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he could go to the Pies for more money, and I could just be proven incorrect. But yeah, I just reckon he goes to Geelong. And yeah, I think, as you said, man, the Giants they're all jumping off. It's the old Titanic, and they're all jumping off it. Cue the violins and all that sort of stuff, or small violins. But just looking at their team, I think you're onto something. Probably 5 years, they'll start to show some stuff, and then in 10 years, it's not looking good. Which begs the question as well: why would GC and GWS ever put forward as teams? I can sort of understand Gold Coast, but I can't understand Greater Western Sydney. I can't understand it for life of me.
Yeah, I
just never understood it.
Yeah, I don't get it. As we spoke about as well in the chat, like, it's just the talent pool just spreads even more as well. It makes the standard of footy. Like, everyone carries on about the spectacle of footy these days, but it's really just because the talent pool's so spread now. So of course it's got to be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a full debate for another day. But yeah, speaking of what was I going to say? I was going to say something now. I forgot. Fuck. Speaking of Geelong, because we just mentioned Geelong, they seem to want everyone at the moment. They're throwing their hat in for everyone. Looks like looks like now they're apparently interested in Isaac Smith. So apparently they've offered him a 2-year deal. So yeah, what are our thoughts on that? Would he be a good fit for Geelong? What do we reckon?
I don't know. Tough one. He's getting old, Isaac Smith. He's still got a bit of his pace about him, but I don't know. I feel like he suits more of a team like Melbourne or something. I don't feel like Geelong need him as much as Geelong always go after midfielders and wingers.
Yeah, why did Geelong need someone of that age? Like, I don't know why they're going for Higgins, and I don't know why they're going for Smith. I think it's just a bit dumb, and we'll just push out some of the younger kids.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
Well,
me neither.
yeah, if they pick up Higgins, Rowan goes out.
Rowan goes out.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, mate, I'm gonna call this early. I reckon Rowan goes out. If they get some of these guys in, I reckon Rowan goes out.
No chance.
You're kidding yourself.
That is one of the worst calls
chance.
you've ever made.
Mate, I'm gonna call it early. I reckon Rowan goes.
That's Al Rob type of stuff there.
I reckon he goes home.
No.
I reckon he goes home.
No.
No chance.
No.
Yeah, I think with Smith, I think the only reason why they would be interested in him is if they're expecting quite a few of their more experienced players to retire at the end of the season. So we know Ablett's gone. Yeah. Maybe they have maybe a few of their players have already said quietly, "Oh, look, it's going to be my last year." So that's really all I can think of. If they have basically a mass exodus of their aging players, and they still want someone to kind of stick around who has a bit more experience, so they can sort of foster up the young talent. That's really the only justification I can see for it, honestly.
Yeah, fair enough. Good call. One of our favourite men in footy has got the axe. Big Razor Ray.
No, be the me
time.
Thank heavens. If I had to listen to him during a prelim, I would not be a happy camper. I'd be muting the TV.
I think it's pretty dog that they didn't actually tell him why he got axed. I think it was pretty obvious, but it was because of the bounce. But I find it astounding that they didn't tell him why he got axed. I can't believe that.
Yeah, I don't personally agree with that. I think they should find a reason to know so they know how to improve. As much as yes, Razor annoys us, but as an umpire, it'd be nice to know the areas to work on. I understand he's a veteran and he has umpired grand finals before, but it would be good for him to know. But yeah, apparently I'm not sure who his name is, but apparently they dropped another veteran umpire for this weekend as well. So they're bringing a couple of the experienced ones this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see how they hold up on the big stage.
Yeah, they had Rose. I think it was Rosebery who they dropped as well.
Okay.
In another final. So, I think they're just going for younger umpires and just stuff like that. But as much as we shit on Razor, he's at least personality-wise, it's at least something. It's funny watching him fucking umpire and having a laugh with that, and he at least makes the game enjoyable. But yeah, don't know about that one, but
yeah. And last one, Harriet Lumumba is suing Collingwood.
And yeah, so he's taken it a step further now. So he's had enough. He's not happy with what Collingwood's done. So yeah, he's suing Collingwood, and I think he's suing the AFL as well. I didn't actually read the article properly, if I can be honest, because it came across my desk. It came across my desk just before the meeting, so I didn't manage to have a full read of it. But yeah, he's suing him, which we don't love really. It's not a good look for the game, so it doesn't look good. I'm sure some of the stuff he's saying was true. I don't disagree with the stuff that he's saying.
Yeah.
But I just disagree with how far he's taking it. It's not like it's the coach's fault that this stuff's happening. So it's not the coaching staff's fault. I'm sure a lot of it was just joking around, and he's turned it the other way and thought it was racist. Mate, just because you're dark skinned doesn't mean it's racist because people are having a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I don't know what
anyone else. I don't know if I agree with you there, Russ. I think considering all the shit that the AFL's gone through with racism, I'm doing a quick little live flick through of the article now. So I understand suing the AF. So he's suing both the Collingwood and AFL. I think the AFL makes a bit more sense because they're the ones who kind of put the rules in and make sure that sanctions are being imposed.
What sanction would you impose on Collingwood though? Like, there's not really a sanction to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For like the individual club, the only thing I could really think of is for the individual club, the only thing I can really think of is like if like the club was told about like him being uncomfortable and stuff, because I don't really, or like him like voicing complaints, or them being just like quietly complicit and watching all of this stuff going on and just not doing anything about it. So that's the only way I can think that Collingwood get dragged into it. So just looking at the article now, so it's saying that Collingwood failed to take any sufficient steps to provide and maintain a safe working environment, including by protecting Lumumba from racial abuse or racially offensive conduct. And that he's suffered loss, damage, injury, trauma, humiliation, distress, loss of enjoyment. And earlier this year, Collingwood announced an independent review was being conducted into the culture of the club during Lumumba's time. So from the sound, it's not even.
What more does he want then? Like, if they're doing a cultural review, what more can they do at this point? Like, I mean, obviously, if they're doing a cultural review, they know they stuffed up. So I'm not really sure. Not really sure what more they can do at this point.
Well, honestly, it's probably obviously I haven't seen the documents, but I'm guessing it's going to be financial compensation then that he's after. Like the article doesn't say anything about exactly what he's looking for. He's just saying that so Collingwood failed in their duty of care to provide a safe working environment.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. I don't know. There's just I'd like to know what the culture was actually like when he was around at the club. So
it's hard to know,
because like you can't tell when he's playing footy what the culture's like, because he was such a good player for him, and whenever he took the footy field, there looked like there was nothing wrong going on, but you don't know the behind the scenes kind of stuff. So I feel like until the culture thing is done or whatever, I don't really have any thoughts about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I actually would like sort of telling Chloe, like, I'd like you guys on your podcast sort of go, if you get more facts to go over it. Like, I reckon this could be a very interesting topic, because it's been a lot of they said this, Lumumba says that it's a lot of back, it's not really a lot of mudslinging, and it's not really anything that goes, what are they actually saying? It's just words. So I'm just saying it to you. I reckon it'd be really interesting, sort of, whether we do it here or you do it on your podcast, just going over it. Like, because it's just a lot of they say they're facts, but you just don't know who to believe. So
like to an extent for sure. I guess obviously the biggest thing is from what I've been reading just now, so he wrote an open letter to his former teammates back in June. Back in June this year. But even in that letter, there's no specifics. And obviously I'm not saying that at all, that means it didn't happen. I'm just saying there are no concrete examples that he's talked about to say in terms of the specific instances of racism that he's faced. So it's hard to comment on it, in either definitive way, just because we don't have the examples here. But I think that's probably something that's going to come out from this case. I feel like it's going to end up in a settlement though, because that's just usually what happens, especially because it's been quite a while. And then I guess secondly, which will probably give us a bit more information, is this, review that Collingwood's doing into the culture of the club back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's I want to know that sort of stuff.
Nice. All right. Just give me 2 secs. Sorry. Save. We're going to bring this episode 8 to a short end. We've got a little bonus special coming for you guys, to our viewers. So we don't want you guys waiting an hour for us to speak about the Brownlow, but we're just going to do a little add-on at the end. So thanks, guys, for tuning in to episode 8. Loved having you guys, and we hope you guys enjoy this really so much. But stay tuned. We've got another video coming for you guys all about the Brownlow. So we hope to see you there. See you later.
Sick. Laters.
But now you're gone.